Hi everyone, today we are going to learn about probate proceedings, index and starter in this video. First let us discuss about what is mean by probate. Probate is the judicial process by which a decedent's estate is valued, beneficiaries are determined, an executor is put in charge of the estate, distribution is declared, the decedent's debts are paid and the estate is legally transferred to the beneficiaries. The term probate includes both testate, with will, and intestate, without will, administration. Then let us see about when the probate is not necessary. First one is when someone dies without assets in her name. Second one is when the deceased person owns all of her assets jointly with another person or has named beneficiaries to receive her assets at death, as in the case of pay-on-death accounts, life insurance, or retirement assets. These assets transfer to the joint owner or beneficiary by operation of law, and so probate is not necessary. Third one is asset value is not equivalent to the minimum value of state requirement. In some states, probate is not required when the value of the decedent's assets total less than a specified dollar amount. For example, in Colorado, estates that contain no real property and are valued at less than $66,000 may be transferred by affidavit rather than through the probate process. In Alabama, an estate without real property, valued at less than $29,710, can also be transferred by affidavit. In Georgia has both a small estate process, less than $10,000, and a summary intestate probate proceeding. In the latter, where there's no will, all the heirs agree on how to divide the assets and, if there are no creditors, the court can issue an order stating that no probate is necessary. Then let us discuss about when the probate is necessary. First one is where a person has died with assets in his sole name that must be transferred to beneficiaries. Second one is where a person has died testate or intestate with substantial creditors whose claims must be evaluated and compromised or paid. Third one is where the estate intends to file a lawsuit for any purpose, such as wrongful death, or someone has filed a lawsuit against the deceased person. Fourth one is where a deceased person has left a minor child, and a guardianship must be opened because there is no living parent or guardian. Last one is where the deceased person created a trust before death, which must be funded and or monitored for any reason after the person's death. Then we will see about the general probate proceedings. Once a person was deceased, the valid testator will apply to prove the will person and to get benefits. Death certificate and will documents used to last will and testament document will record. Last will and testament is a legal document that expresses a person's wishes as to how their property is to be distributed after their death and as to which person is to manage the property until its final distribution. After that, based on common law jurisdictions, a personal representative will be appointed by will or the court to administer the decedent's estate. In cases where the deceased don't have any will, letters of administration are granted by a surrogate court or probate registry to appoint appropriate people to deal with a deceased person's estate where property will pass under intestacy rules or where there are no executors living having been validly appointed under the deceased's will. The probate court will have more oversight into the administration of the estate. For example, usually an administrator is required to post a bond and they must request the permission of the court to take almost any action with an estate, such as selling estate property. An administrator must also file an inventory with the court listing all of the assets of the estate. This is not the case with an executor, only with an administrator. Then a personal representative may need to calculate the date of death values for the decedent's assets must be determined. There are several ways to accomplish this. This is typically accomplished through account statements, appraisals and research regarding date of death stock and bond values. Then creditors, any company or individual whom the decedent owed money to at the time of death, have 6 months from appointment of the executor or administrator to file a proof of claim against the estate. The probate courts publish notice of the death in a local newspaper to alert unknown creditors. Then the executor can reject claims if they have reason to believe they are not valid. The creditor could then appeal the court to have a probate judge decide whether the claim should be paid. Then paying the decedent's debts. Valid creditor claims should be paid. There are specific guidelines that creditors must follow to make a claim against an estate. Likewise, there are procedures that the executor should follow in paying debts of the estate. The executor will use estate funds to pay all the decedent's debts and final bills, including those that might have been incurred during the final illness. These are the decedent's debts, not the executor's debts. Then preparing and filing tax returns. The executor will assure that the decedent's final personal income tax returns are filed for the year they died. They will determine if the estate is liable for any estate taxes, and if necessary, should file these tax returns as well. Any taxes due are also paid from estate funds. Finally, distributing the estate. A court's order determining homestead status of real property no longer makes the property a concern of the probate court and protects it from unsecured creditors. In most circumstances, the order determining homestead cannot be obtained until after the 3-month creditor claim period has expired. And it confirms the property was the decedent's homestead as defined by probate law. The above proceedings are happening in probate concept. Then let us discuss about index. What is meant by index? Index is the listed of records are entered on the specific application or online platform. The records contain property and person informations. We have 2 types of index. First one is property index and second one is general index. First we will see about property index. It is a chronological listing of different transactions on the property. A property index highlights the details of the current status of the property. It reflects the current owners of the property and any liens or encumbrances open on the property. Chain of title should be verified in PI index. Chain of title is a chronological listing of transfer of title or ownership of a particular property. Next one is general index. It is a listing of judgments, liens, bankruptcy, etc., on a particular name for a particular county. It is used to identify or verify if the present owner or the buyer has unpaid liens or unclear judgments recorded against them. It is a list of all the names and documents that are similar or a perfect match with the current owner or borrower. Next topic is starter. What is mean by starter? Starter is also called as base file, which helps to perform the full search orders. In starter, search coverage date is mentioned. Until the coverage date, the search has been performed already. Based on the base file, we can perform the search after the coverage date to current effective date to complete the search in easy manner. 3 types of starters are there in title search. First one is direct starter. Direct starter means exactly matching with legal and address, which is called as direct starter, property in queue. Second one is adjacent starter. It is also called as seed starter. Neighborhood address and legal is available in this starter, like adjacent or opposite or near property starter are called as adjacent or C starter. Third one is master starter. Many lots or units are available and very difficult to find out the correct property legal, but subdivision or condominium names and plat or CCNR are matching. This kind of starter is called as a master starter. Is there any queries? Are there? Please post in comments section. Thank you everyone. As of now we have learnt about probate proceedings, index and starter on this video. We will learn about how to perform current owner search, 2 owner search, limited search, update search, full search, and we'll learn about title search applications on upcoming video. Please do support and subscribe my channel to learn about U.S. mortgage title search process. Thank you everyone. Bye. Have a great day.